had revealed how for the first time in GST Council, it was the centre that pushed for this reform.
Like the way we did in the budget, respecting the middle class, respecting the taxpayer, respecting people who are really the ones out of their salaries giving the tax. We need to do something for the day-to-day indirect tax which falls on every Indian citizen in some way or the other. So this tax is something which touches the lives of every citizen, and therefore we need to be a lot more sensitive. So I went back with this comment, redid it, sharp focused it, and that's how this proposal came. And we, for the first time in GST's history, Council's history, the centre has come up with a proposal. Till now it used to be the group of ministers which consisted only of state ministers. Never has the centre been a part of any GOM. This is the first time, both in the case of the compensation cess, where the MOS Finance central government was the chair to decide how to handle the closure of the compensation cess, and a comprehensive proposal as regards GST being given by the central government.
So there you have it. It's the centre that moved the proposal for the very first time that has happened in the GST Council, which involves all states as well. Now, a major reason why opposition may claim credit for GST is because they say the idea was conceptualized during the UPA era, even if it could not bring it to table. But in fact, it was in 2000 under Atal Bihari Vajpayee that an empowered committee of state finance ministers was set up to look at this concept. It was in 2006 when UPA came to power, then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram announced GST implementation by 2010. But in 2010, President Pranab Mukherjee announced delay in such an implementation. In 2011, the bill was introduced in Lok Sabha, referring it to the standing committee, but for 3 years, nothing happened. And in 2014, after the general elections, the Lok Sabha dissolution led to the lapse of that bill on GST introduction. Finally, the bill was reintroduced or passed in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in 2016, within 2 years of the Narendra Modi government coming to power, and the president gave it its assent. 2017, official nationwide rollout also took place of goods and services tax. Now, 2025, Prime Minister, remember, had announced these reforms on Independence Day. He had promised reduced rates before Diwali, and by September 22, 2025, that GST Council's 56th meeting approved the landmark reforms, and today those reforms have also come into effect. So it's not just about intention, it's also about how quickly can you roll out said reforms. With that, the big debate that's coming up is exactly this. Who can claim credit not just for GST 2.0, but for GST overall? Time to settle this debate finally. Exactly who should get credit for this?
Prime Minister did announce it from the Red Fort on Independence Day. But even about 8 months ago, he called me once and had a long talk about how GST can be, revamped, looked at, and only from one point of view.
ये जो नए स्लैब्स आए हैं जीएसटी के, ये कंज्यूमर के लिए एक बहुत ही अच्छा स्टेप है, और हम ये मोदी गवर्नमेंट का बहुत शुक्रिया और धन्यवाद करते हैं।
आज जीएसटी जो छूट मिली है गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से, वो डेट देख के हम लोग आए हैं, क्योंकि अब से जो भारत सरकार की तरफ से जो छूट मिला है जीएसटी में, गाड़ी लेना अफोर्डेबल हो गया है। लोगों को अब गाड़ी लेने में सुविधाएं बढ़ गई हैं।
कौन सी गाड़ी ले रहे हो आप?
मुझे तो लेना है होंडा हॉर्नेट का 125 सीसी।
कितनी सस्ती पड़ी आपको?
ये पहले थी राउंड फिगर 1,31,000 के आसपास, अब है 1,22,000 के आसपास।
हकीकत ये रहेगी कि ग्राहकों को उसका लाभ मिलेगा, उसका कुछ फ़ायदा होगा, इससे निजी निवेश बढ़ेगा, ये सब सवाल उठते हैं। तो ये पूरा जीएसटी सुधार नहीं है, ये दूसरा अवतार नहीं है, ये 1.5वां अवतार है।
এবং আপনারা জানেন সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টের এক পয়সাও এর জন্য খরচ হয়নি, সব টাকাটা গেছে রাজ্য সরকারের কোষাগার থেকে।
Bihar elections, this is nothing, just an eyewash. And these middle income groups and lower income groups were squeezed by this government during these years. Who introduced this scheme?
कांग्रेस की सरकार 30% से अधिक टैक्स लेती थी।
Let's go across to our guest joining us. Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the BJP, Venugopal Swamy from the Congress party with us. Anmol Panwar is from the Aam Aadmi party. I'm also joined by Kailash Adhikari, political analyst. Venugopal Swamy, I begin with you. When the Congress today tries to suggest that this isn't a full reform, it isn't GST 2.0, or it tries to suggest that, the very Prime Minister today had once opposed, so therefore the credit doesn't go to the BJP for the vision of GST, it comes across as sour grapes. What is the need to criticize a reform that is there in black and white? It's on paper. It has happened in 2016, and the new 2.0 GST has also been rolled out already. It's not just in talk anymore.
Shivani ji, good evening. Good evening to all the panelists. Madam, before I go to GST, I will take 1 minute. See, in 2016, the Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji brought two major issues for this country. One is demonetization. Second is a most disastrous statute, that is a insolvency and bankruptcy code. Many Indians do not know about this. We being a corporate people, myself being a chartered accountant by profession, and financial professionals understand this particular act. Because of the IBC, the entrepreneur skills, the encouragement to the entrepreneurs has been completely killed. Today, most of the businessmen have become a deal makers, where the company will go to insolvency. Can I buy 100 rupees company for a 20 rupees? This is what this one disastrous act has been brought, by which I can give you entire statistics data, almost like 30 to 40 lakh crore economy being destroyed through this particular act. This is what
unfortunately, I have to focus onto the GST issue. The Congress party's line has been that this isn't a full reform, but we've also heard how the Congress party over the years has been saying, the BJP government doesn't get credit for this. So who gets credit for it? Thinking about it and talking about it doesn't deserve credit, even if the UPA did it.
Shivani ji, you give me, see, I am not an attractive speaker, I am a truth speaker, okay? You please give me 2 minutes. Whatever I quote with the statistics. Okay. After this IBC code, the demonetization has been brought. I will not talk what disaster it is. I do not want to debate in this particular evening. Okay. Now coming to Madam, GST. What is the motto of GST, Madam, if you understand? It is a one nation, one tax, one market. Now, utterly the government has failed. If I am a business person, if I want to do in 31 states, I have to obtain 31 registrations. Where is the question of one nation, one tax and one market? The motto itself has been miserably failed, the first step of the GST.
Okay. But you should still, I don't understand where you're coming from. You're saying GST is bad or wrong in its current avatar, but you couldn't bring a GST which Congress somehow wants to take credit for. They keep reminding us that GST was first floated under the UPA era. So I'm confused. You want credit for GST or you don't want credit for GST?
Madam, let me tell you. I will answer your question very straight. See, Congress party believes to produce a baby, it takes 9 months. Modi ji believes to produce a baby, it takes 3 months. Or maybe in 3 days you want to produce a baby, which is not possible. When you try to produce a baby in 3 days or 3 months, naturally what happens, everybody can understand what I am trying to tell.
Interesting. See, interesting you say that. All right, let me take that to Rohan of the BJP. Interesting, he says that because there are so many things. It's not just about GST. So many things that have been deliberated, that have been pondered upon, but didn't come into being. Aadhaar being one of those things under the UPA. But how much can you wait? I mean, he's giving me an analogy of the gestation period of a human baby. I'm not sure it translates quite literally. But from 2006, even if I take the history from 2006 under UPA till 2014, 8 years was not enough for GST. And yet Congress wants to today suggest that, oh, this government cannot claim credit for GST, which was a reform. Criticisms of current GST aside, my focus today is why do we still have this credit war over GST? Rohan.
Absolutely, Shivani. Nobody should take credit. Let the people of the country decide that who should be given credit. And you have rightly said, it is about the political intent. It is about the determination of government to implement any kind of reform. Rightly, for 8 years, Congress has opportunity to implement this bill and take credit. After your rule is over, some other government takes the credit, ensures that it has to be on fast track, implements it, and after certain time passes on benefit to the common man. What is wrong in it? This is the first time in the history of India the government is sensitive enough to pass out all the benefits of the additional tax collections more than the projections to the people of this country. And why there is a credit war? I think this is not the time to take any credit. Let the people of this country decide. When groceries are reduced by 10%, all the overall essential common for common man, there is a reduction of 12 to 15%. Let the people of this country decide what is wrong. This is the government who have afflicted 25 crore people out of poverty in last 11 years and created a new middle class. Neo middle class, right? This is the government who wants to ensure that the middle class up to 12 lakh salary, there is no tax. And the benefit of these two things is going to percolate and our GDP is going to increase leaps and bounds. What is wrong in it? Our consumption has increased by 12%. So everything, there is a euphoria, there is a positivity. Let the people decide who should be given credit. But if you oppose each and everything, Shivani, your credibility as opposition gets lost.
No, that is going to be my next question. To the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, it almost seems like the opposition is criticizing everything for the sake of criticism. This has been something that has been discussed for many, many years now. If you criticize even something that brings GST reforms and, restricts it to 3 slabs now versus what used to prevail, it just sounds like, the opposition is being a crybaby. What is there to criticize?
Good evening, Shivani ji. Shivani ji, any tax reforms which helps the common man of this country is welcome. But remember that in 2017, when this GST reform was introduced, the Modi government tom-tommed it as a revolutionary measure. But in reality, it turned out to be nothing but an economic assault, breaking the very backbone of the ordinary Indian citizens.
Did it?
For the last 8 years,
the
Indian citizen has been crushed. Yes, I'll give you facts. I'll give you facts. For the last 8 years, the common man has been crushed under the weight of tax terrorism. I'll give you data which reflects the loot and injustice of the central government. 50% of the Indians, the lower middle group of our country, they have paid 64% of the taxes.
That's not true.
The other 40%, which we call the so-called, let me tell you, these are hard facts.
No, let me tell you. These numbers have been
the other 40%, ma'am, let me complete. The other 40%, which we call the so-called middle class, they have contributed 33% in the total tax collection, and the top 10%, they have contributed only 3%. So imagine that the central government has collected a staggering 117 lakh crores from the poor and middle class of this country.
I am not going by these numbers. Anmol, one second. I'm interrupting you. One second. I'm interrupting you only because I've heard these numbers go around, and I don't think these numbers have been, they've kind of stood the test of scrutiny, because there's been a lot of criticism and debunking of these figures that are floating around, that the bottom 90% is paying 97% of the taxes, what you're claiming. People have suggested that mathematically it is not possible. And so I don't know where these numbers are coming on without attribution to source.
To call itself well-wisher of a common man.
No, one second. First of all, these numbers, I'm sorry, I can't take them on record because they don't sound fine to me. So you're saying that nothing has helped the public in the last 7 years. or since GST implementation, but this government keeps getting repeat mandates for doing nothing. What are you trying to say?
I have some questions for BJP spokesperson.
Yes.
I have some questions for BJP spokesperson. Can I? Yes. First, for last 8 years, why did you loot the poor and middle class of this country? Question number 2. The poor and middle class, which contributed 97% of the total 117 lakh crore of the tax collection, आपने उनकी कमर क्यों तोड़ी? Question number 3. When will you return the hard-earned money which you have looted from the poor and middle class of this country? Question number 4. Why did it take 8 years for you to realize that GST needs reform? And question number 5. The Punjab government, the central government still owes 50,000 crores to the Punjab government. When you introduced GST in 2017, you assured the state governments that in case of revenue loss, you will pay compensation cess. But since 2022, you have not paid cess to the Punjab government.
Okay.
वो पैसा कब देंगे?
Let him respond.
और
Let him
अब
respond.
इस लूट का जो है, अब इस लूट को जो है आप सेलिब्रेट करने की बजाय देश की जनता से माफी मांगेंगे या नहीं, ये मेरा आखिरी सवाल है।
रोहन,
देखिए, माफी तो दिल्ली की जनता ने आपसे मंगवा ली, आपने मांगी कि नहीं मांगी? आपका जो महल है, जो महल ने आपको हरवा दिया, फिर भी आपको हिम्मत चाहिए इस प्रकार के सवाल।
मुख्यमंत्री कह रही थी कि ईवीएम में चोरी करी है आप लोगों ने। दिल्ली की मुख्यमंत्री कह रही थी ईवीएम चोरी की है उन्होंने। मांग लीजिए माफी
की दाद देता हूं कि इतनी बड़ी हार होने की दिल्ली ने निकालने के बाद भी आपकी हिम्मत हो रही है मुझसे सवाल, फिर भी मैं जवाब दूंगा विनम्रता से, क्योंकि मेरा काम है। See, this is the government which is the classical model, how you are not managing your finance and offering something to people, and just you are putting your vada or your promises only on paper, and how people throw you out. The Delhi is the classic example. This is the government which could never materialize the revenues which were projected and ensure that Delhi goes in debt. And what has happened? You see, all the projects, they could not implement a single project, and they are asking question to us. This is the government which has been repeated year after year. This is BJP which gets repeated in different states. Why? Because people of this country, people of the states understand BJP believes in delivering whatever they promised. And this was the time.
You do vote chori.
Okay. No, one second. Please don't bring vote chori here. Anmol, please don't digress from the topic. Don't bring vote chori here. And I don't want to go into the whatever twisted comment of the Delhi Chief Minister. Let's not do that, please. We'll discuss vote chori at an appropriate time. But Rohan, I do want to ask you a question before I go across to Kailash. There has been criticism that the government collected a lot of tax, even petroleum benefits wasn't passed on to the consumers, and now you're making it sound like, we are giving a dole to the consumers, whether it is direct tax cuts or indirect tax cuts via GST, when the government has actually collected a lot of tax from the middle class predominantly or the buyer class for the last 10 years.
Shivani, you need to understand, when Modi ji spoke yesterday, see, it was a vision. This is not a haphazard step that, okay, one day you get up and you say that, no, we are doing reforms. No, it's a strategic decision making. The first thing is he clearly gave example that first priority is to ensure in the last 11 years, we uplift 25 crore out of poverty. That is step number 1. So by that step, that neo middle class was created, which has added to the overall middle class. Second step was, first step, middle class benefit up to 12 lakh salary, there is no income tax. It was a major step for middle class. So that is step number 2.
But that came this year. That came this year. For the first 10 years, criticism is that you were minting money off the middle class.
No. That money, see, I have answered the question. That money has ensured that the people who are below poverty line, 25 crore people have been afflicted. Out of which money? Obviously that money. So that was my priority number 1. Roti, kapda और मकान. ये basic right है हमारे Indians को. उसको ensure करके गरीबी से उसको हमने बाहर निकाला कि जिससे उसको एक neo middle class का एक status मिले. Then step 2 comes. Okay, my 25 crore people have lifted out of poverty. Now my step is to support my middle class. That's what government did. 12 lakh income tax, it is a brave step. Now number 3, just give me 30 seconds, it will give you strategy. Now SMEs, which is the third front after the middle class, like maybe upper middle class also. Modi ji clearly told the consumption is going to increase multifold because of these GST reforms. And who will get benefited? Our SMEs will get benefited. The Swadeshi movement is step number 3. So Atmanirbhar Bharat ka jo strategy hai, Shivani, it has to start from the basic strata, which is poor, converting them to neo middle class, supporting middle class, converting them to upper class. This is the growth story of Viksit Bharat.
No, but Kailash, the problem for the opposition is exactly this. You can criticize whether it's been done rightly, wrongly, perfect can be the enemy of good. What the opposition cannot criticize is that at least things are happening in the 11 years of Modi government. You look at the paralysis that prevailed before this and the fact that there were reforms that were talked about for many, many years, even decades, infrastructural projects that were announced in the 1960s, 70s that weren't fulfilled till Narendra Modi came to power. You can't take that away from him. You can't just say, we thought about it, we talked about it. You have to show whether you were able to implement it.
Absolutely, Shivani. You know, the major thing in government or governance is execution. If you aren't able to execute, ना, then आप अपने दिमाग में कितने भी ख्याली पुलाव बना लो, उसका कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. This government after 2014 has actually executed all that they have promised. Like Honorable Prime Minister said that, the GST 2.0 will push up the India's growth story. We are celebrating this week as a GST Bachat week, wherein naturally the middle class, the youth, the farmers, the women, the traders, as well as all the shopkeepers will benefit from this. We have heard, and on your broadcast network, how the Aam Aadmi of this country feels with this GST Bachat, because items of daily essentials, items which are, even if they are not categorized as daily essentials, but items which are a part of our everyday living, be it affordable cars or be it any affordable
even
transport.
Aspirational items will become more affordable.
Aspirational items as well, and here you climb up the aspirational pyramid. If you're here, then you aspire to go up only when it is you have a dispensable income, and the government has best taken efforts in the two pronged manner. First, the income tax bill during the budget session, wherein up to 12 lakhs was freed up, so that there is more dispensable income in hand of the people, so that their consumption increases, their spending pattern improves, and when consumption increases, the growth story of the country increases, because that money is coming into the system. We must understand this as a part of the economics. Secondly, now with this GST 2.0, when the items have been, the MRP will now come down because the GST has come down, and most of the big conglomerates, the FMCG conglomerates or the automobile conglomerates, they have taken an oath and they have come on record in saying that we will pass on the benefit to the consumers. As well as the Minister of Commerce and Industry took, and he came out in front of a public conference and said that he has had a word with all the major corporates and they are passing this on. And I will take, just because I'm speaking the last, Shivani, I'll take more 1 minute of yours to address one point that the Congress spokesperson posed, which I completely disagree, is about the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. One of the most landmark judgments of the recent times. Congress used to work on phone banking. The entire gamut of just bartering loan as a rivalry was happening during the Congress regime, and that had turned into chronic NPA issues for the Indian banking system. It is only the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code which provided an exit for the bankers. If your enterprise is sick, get it into the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. You will have an investor coming in. The larger part of the old thing gets freed up, and it has led to a monumental amount of recovery for the banks, otherwise which could not have come into the system.
No.
This is not being misused, but this is one of the most landmark, and my friend at BJP will agree, this is one of the most landmark financial system. And if you look at the data, which time and again the Ministry of Finance has given out into the parliament, that this has the help of the banking sector.
Can I just come in? Venugopalji, I'm afraid I cannot discuss IBC today. Your points noted, Kailash's points noted. It's a debate for another day, even if it's at all a debate pending. I think the debate was settled on this. But my final question to you, Venugopalji, on the subject today, my final question to you, Jairam Ramesh said we'll have to wait and see if consumers get the benefit of the new GST slabs. Look at what the government's intent was. Even as the GST reform was to be implemented today, it already told all industry members that you have to pass on and we are monitoring you. Now, this is intent. You're criticizing, and all of this criticism, ki dekhte hain, we'll see what happens. This is not cutting ice with the voters. On top of it, delivery of Narendra Modi, the pace of delivery, even if you can criticize the quality at some times, the pace of delivery you can't take away from the Modi government.
Madam, let me tell you very, very simple example. Okay. 2014, the cement prices were 3,500 rupees per ton. Today, the cement price is 6,000 to 6,500 rupees. Today, the ton price. See, two things they are claiming. What they are trying to claim, 1 lakh crore, GST is becoming 2 lakh crore. How it has to be increased? In the place of 1 ton, you have to produce 2 ton at the rate 3,000 rupees, 3,500 rupees, so that you are increasing the production. Now, what happened in our case, the increase of the GST has happened only because of the price hike. 100 rupees material has become 150 rupees or 180 rupees. On that, when you calculate the tax, automatically there is an increased tax will come.
Okay. I have limited time. I got your point. I have limited time. I'll allow Rohan to respond to this. That if you look at the prices, you may claim inflation is low, but if you look at the prices of these items versus 10 years ago, they are still much higher. Rohan, very quickly, please.
Shivani, again, when you talk about numbers, you have to justify argument through numbers. Today, inflation is 1.58% and historically lowest. See the UP area, what was the range of inflation? 9% to 14%. That was the range. We are talking about 1.58%. These are not my numbers. These are RBI numbers. You see the interest rates, you see the bank rates. Everything is going down. So obviously the inflation will go down. And that's why the real GDP growth is higher. So I think, Shivani, on all counts, the strategy of Modi ji and this government is a long term to ensure that inflation is at the minimum, to ensure that there is more money now in hands of the middle class or neo middle class, which indirectly increases our consumption. And that's why Ashwini Vaishnav ji has told that this will result into increase of 20 lakh crores as far as GDP is concerned.
We'll wait and see.
So that
but the point today is only this. At least the government has done something in 2017 and in 2025. We aren't living in that era where nothing was happening, only discussions were happening or excuses were being made for why something cannot be done. I mean, let's not forget that a former finance minister of this country talked about how digital payments will not work in this country, right? Certainly, we're not living in that era, and we can't discount the fact that we've come a long way from that. So I don't understand where the opposition comes from when it tries to take credit for something it didn't deliver. Aadhaar is one example and GST is one example, and then there are of course infrastructure projects, particularly on the Northeast. The Prime Minister highlighted the Northeast today. But I'll leave it at that. I do thank our guests for joining us. Moving on, with the clock ticking for Tamil Nadu elections, all sides are leaving no stone unturned to one up the other. From actor Vijay turning the winds with statewide rallies to AIADMK now openly trying to woo Vijay towards the NDA fold. And in the latest development, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin tapping into the Muslim vote bank, which already seems to be pretty favorable as far as recent trends are concerned to the DMK. So Stalin made a very strong pitch to consolidate Muslim support ahead of these elections. Speaking at an event marking 1500th birth anniversary of Prophet Muhammad, Stalin said the Prophet preached love and peace. He further added, solution is needed to end the suffering of people in Gaza. Indian government must step in and strive for it. When Muslims are in danger, DMK will stand by it. Look at the kind of global Muslim politics that he has brought in. DMK ensured key Waqf bill clauses were stayed by the Supreme Court, the Chief Minister says. He added, BJP's authoritarian politics must be stopped. DMK will safeguard interests of Muslim community. Not just this, remember viewers, DMK was indeed the party that vehemently objected the Waqf bill in Parliament. They had taken objection to the fact that certain contentious claims of Tamil Nadu Waqf Board were made the backbone of the discourse when the centre brought in the Waqf Amendment Act. But can I just highlight these cases that came in from Tamil Nadu? You remember the Tiruchendurai land dispute where the Waqf Board claimed ownership of an entire village, including a 1500-year-old temple? The Tirunelveli land dispute, where a mosque laid claim to over 1100 acres of land as Waqf property. Both these cases came out from Tamil Nadu and shocked the entire country. In Tiruchendurai, villagers got interim relief after state government's assurance that land can be registered without NOC. It was so shocking the government had to act immediately. In Tirunelveli case, however, Madras High Court had to reject the mosque's claim of ownership. The Tiruchendurai case was also cited by Centre in 2024 to push for Waqf Amendment Act, while the Tirunelveli dispute ruling overturned the Waqf Tribunal decree, prevented the mosque claim that could have affected so many natives in Tamil Nadu. But what did the DMK as a party or a government say at that time? That the Waqf Act was somehow against Muslims. Muslim vote bank aside, another factor that's important to note and is dominating political discourse in Tamil Nadu is the Vijay factor. DMK has called Vijay a newbie politician. Their war of words has been continuing with him. The AIADMK has extended him an invite now, saying he must join the EPS-led alliance if he wants to defeat the DMK. DMK maintains that Vijay and TVK have no ideological base, so they will not be able to garner votes. AIADMK says Vijay's solo ride could benefit DMK further. So So while DMK has claimed that the centre is pushing Vijay's party in an attempt to pressurize the state government in these elections, the AIADMK has said that Vijay is a factor that cannot be overlooked. So what is really cooking as far as Tamil Nadu politics is concerned? You've got Stalin wooing Muslims. Why so? Because this is a party that stands against any communal rhetoric and only for secularism. So is that just rhetoric when it comes to elections? Why is Stalin feeling the need to put more focus on this Muslim vote bank? That and more coming up with our guests.
அதுக்கு இந்திய அரசு உறுதியான நடவடிக்கைகளை மேற்கொள்ளணும்னு நான் ஏற்கனவே பதிவு செஞ்சிருக்கிறேன்.
Kalyan Raman is spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Syed Hafiz, spokesperson of the DMK joining us. Jagdishwaran is political analyst who backs the TVK, and Sumant Sriraman, author and political analyst from the state, is also joining us. Sumant, I begin with you. What do you make of Stalin's Muslim wooing pitch recently?
No, it is not recent. The party is in power because of the minority vote, and they are completely dependent. If they did not get that 15% minority vote en masse, the DMK will not have a chance of even coming to power even in the next election. So it is the and I'm not saying it. Their own leaders have acknowledged this, and in fact, at various congregations of minorities, including functions of the church and so on, their leaders have themselves said it. We are in power because of you. I mean, it can't get more clear and direct than that.
So what are they feeling? Are they feeling nervous at all? Because I believe, according to some polls, 69% of the Muslim vote went to the DMK plus. So what are they worried at all? Do you sense any heightened pitch to try and suggest that they are the only party that will stand for the Muslims? Even mentioning Gaza.
I think you have to realize that as far as the DMK is concerned, the entry of Vijay has definitely made them nervous to some extent, because Vijay threatens that minority vote back. It's largely Christian, but also Muslim vote back. So I think that there is a problem which the DMK is now sort of trying to address. And they are trying to sort of look at it from doubling down on the appeasement factor. They've always been known for their appeasement, and they are doubling down on the appeasement factor to try and counter what could potentially be a loss of some amount of minority votes to Vijay. So that is the background from which this is coming in. But if that does happen and some of the minority vote drifts towards Vijay, then the DMK could be in significant trouble. That is the key point.
Yes, I'll come to Vijay in detail in just a bit. But Dr. Syed Hafiz, the DMK opposes quote-unquote communal politics. It says it believes in secularism, true secularism. But it seems like that's just a rhetoric for you if you're going to make this kind of statements that Chief Minister is making to woo just one community on religious lines, not on lines of welfare. I mean, when you bring in Gaza and plight of Muslims in Gaza to appease Muslims in Tamil Nadu, what does it say?
No, first of all, the myth of appeasement is really, we cannot take that. If that is the parameter that you are going to put for the DMK, I think you should put the same parameter for the BJP, which talks about Hindus, Khatre mein hai, Hindus, Mangal Sutra, all this. But unfortunately, nobody questions BJP saying it is a party of, talking about the majoritarian appeasement. Nobody questions.
No, they are questioned all the time, in fact. They are questioned all the time on this.
I'm talking about, I am telling this, that the frequency of the attack that the DMK receives for being secular and talking about issues that it is an event organized by Muslim organizations for 1,500 years of birth, the celebration of Prophet Muhammad. On that day, the even Prime Minister spoken about ending issues in Gaza. So is he appeasing Muslims there?
No, but
we totally
he's
have
not
a
appealing to
different
the
standard and
Muslim
Prime Minister
community
said
when he
it's not.
says that.
No.
Mr. Syed Hafiz, there's a difference.
See,
As the Prime Minister of
yes,
this
madam.
country,
Madam, please,
one second. I'll give you more time.
I get your point.
As the Prime Minister of the country, one, he has decision making to make when it comes to Israel-Palestine conflict. Secondly, when he talks about peace in Palestine, he is not saying this from a Muslim prism.
Exactly. Why do you see it as a Muslim prism?
Because of what the Chief Minister said.
Let me complete, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead.
No. If that is the case, then the issue of Bangladesh, can we link it to Hinduism? When Prime Minister says Hindus khatre mein hai in Bangladesh.
Yes,
so
of course.
It is a Hindu fanatic party. The BJP is a Hindu fanatic party then?
No, it's a Hindu issue. Hindu fanatic or not is a choosing of your desire.
Then the Prime Minister... No. Then Prime Minister speaking about Hindus in Bangladesh is not a communal issue, right? According to you?
No, it is very much a communal issue. It is about Hindus in Bangladesh.
So the Prime Minister has the freedom to talk. When it is an issue in Gaza and a leader who has 40 MPs who can be a part of policy making in the union government should not say, this is the two opposite stand that people are taking. When BJP talks about majoritarianism, it is nationalistic view. And when we say that it is a humanitarian issue in Palestine, the humanitarian issue where Tamils are being affected in Sri Lanka, then you link us to a extreme Tamil nationalist. When
I'm not talking about Sri Lanka. But what does this have to do with the state elections? Dr. Hafiz.
No, madam, first listen to me patiently. No, don't be in a hurry. Let me complete. Why do you link it to election in the first place is my question. This is a usual tradition. Every year there is a birth celebration of Prophet Muhammad. Please get informed about the happenings in Tamil Nadu. Okay. Why are you linking it with the election is my first question. This is not the first time. The Dravidian Party, ever since founded, has participated in the birth celebration of Prophet Muhammad.
Fair enough.
One minute.
Yeah, Sumant wants to come in. Yes.
Yeah. See, the secularism is so pronounced in Tamil Nadu amongst the government that the Chief Minister will wish on Milad-in-Nabi or on Bakrid, but he will not wish on Diwali.
Exactly.
This is one of the states where a Chief Minister sworn to uphold the Constitution and its secular values releases wishes on other community festivals, but not on Diwali, not on Krishna Janmashtami, not on Ganesh Chaturthi. So please understand that this is the prevailing, and blaming the BJP is no use. BJP is definitely there are 100 things wrong with the BJP. Dr. Hafiz, you and the BJP are two sides of the same coin. You are two sides of the same coin.
Suman, is Pongal a Hindu festival or not according to you?
No, you are accepting. I want only one statement from your Chief Minister to say
my point is simple, Suman.
Please say it.
Suman, you agree it or not?
I am agreeing. You are not agreeing.
From you.
Is Pongal a Hindu festival? You tell me your stand is a secular festival. It is a Tamil festival. Hello, Dr. Hafiz, please.
Suman, you can't be
okay,
shifting.
So you are accepting on TV that Pongal is a Hindu festival, right? That is the official line of the party. That is a Hindu festival.
According to you.
No. Is it your official line? According to me, I don't matter.
One by one. Sumant, let him respond. Sumant, you posed the question. Let him respond. Yes.
Suman, how do you keep changing a goalpost, Suman? According to you, Pongal is a Hindu festival.
Are you accepting it?
It becomes a Tamil festival to you.
According to you, is it a Hindu festival?
Do you accept?
Is it a Hindu?
Do you
accept?
accept?
It has always been a Hindu festival. You accept? Is the DMK ready to say tomorrow Pongal is a Hindu festival? Say it now. Say it on national TV.
Let him respond. Sumant, don't repeat the same question over and over again. Please let him respond. I've got to move on.
He's not answering it.
Yeah, so let him respond. Give him 30 seconds. Yes, respond.
Pongal is a festival of Tamil Muslims. Pongal is a festival of Tamil Hindus. Pongal is a festival of Tamil Christians. Period. Now, according to you accuse us that we don't.
It's not a Hindu festival. That's my point.
Yeah. So he's not accepting it's a Hindu festival.
He's not accepting it.
He's not accepting it. It's clear enough. No, so this is what I'm talking about. There is this duplicity when it we. One second. Sir, I've given you time. Yeah, please don't secularize Hindu festivals. That is not your right. I'm sorry to say. You should take the Hindu community on board before you quote-unquote secularize Hindu festivals. But that's for Hindu community in Tamil Nadu to decide. My point is exactly this, the kind of, if a party says it is secular, then making communal pitches like this and saying, oh, other parties make it, so I am also well within my right to make it, then you will also be judged by the same parameter. That's all I'm saying. If BJP is communal, then you are also communal, or you play communal politics. That's all I'm saying. But I have to move on. I have to move on to the whole Vijay factor that we are discussing.
People accusing the DMK.
Okay, I want to discuss the Vijay factor that we are also set to discuss, but before that, what we're also getting to know, and I want to go across to our BJP representative with this, that Annamalai, former BJP Tamil Nadu president, has also met TTV Dinakaran. This is coming after, you know, EPS had met Amit Shah in the national capital, and I believe has made it very clear that rebel leaders are not going to come back to the AIA-DMK under him. Kalyan Raman, your response to what is happening, why is the BJP wooing all rebel factions so much?
The central leadership has made it clear already that it's a matter to be discussed within the AIA-DMK dispensation, that we have nothing to do with it. So given the fact, if some leaders are meeting at their personal levels, it should be left at that. So that is the way we should look at the meetings happen during the course of the alliance formation or whatever is going to happen.
No, but the AIA-DMK or certainly the EPS will look at it as, you know, you wanting to destabilize the party.
That's not the way we should look at it, because, you know, courtesy demands for meetings of multiple kind. Different leaders meet different people for different reasons. I think we should go back to the original question in which I am supposed to be an expert of DMK wooing the Muslim votes.
Okay.
Please let us.
I'll give you a minute to respond to that before I bring in Jagdishwaran as well. Yes.
Yeah. The most communal party of India is DMK, because when the blast happened in 2022, October, all the ministers of DMK in Coimbatore, when it happened in October 23rd, all the ministers of DMK have stated time and again that it is a cylinder blast, not a bomb blast. So they were supposed to blast in 5 different places. They made all the arrangements. Whereas the entire DMK dispensation, including the DGP, then Sailendra Babu, said that it was a cylinder blast. So they wanted to ensure that whatever Islamic fundamentalism or extremism happening in Tamil Nadu are not communal in nature. So far in the last 30 and odd years, 150 Hindus have been killed by Islamic fundamentalists in Tamil Nadu through multiple bomb blasts and targeted killings. All this is known to DMK dispensation, and these things happen more during the DMK dispensation.
Okay, all right.
If DMK is to claim that they are secular and they want to woo the Muslim votes, which they have been doing, as Sumant had already stated that they jumpstart with 15% plus because of the minority votes coupled with Congress and DMK, they always get 15% votes, and then the rest of the opposition will have to start from 0 to catch up for the 15%.
Okay. You know, there is a particular brand of secularism that is played in India. I don't think anybody in India is unaware of what that means. It has a soft anti-Hindu bias and a soft pro-Muslim bias in the name of minority. Most other minorities don't get talked about. It is primarily the Muslim vote bank because it's a large enough vote bank. But I want to go across to Jagdishwaran, political analyst who's also joining us. Do you see a sense of nervousness, as Sumant is claiming, because of the Vijay factor? And secondly, what do you make of the AIA-DMK repeatedly now and openly now making statements inviting Vijay to join the anti-DMK front?
See, as I said, Shivani, there could be a little nervousness in the DMK camp, but I think the camp that is rattled is probably ADMK, because most of the survey results that are coming, the survey result that is putting Vijay in second place is saying that ADMK is going to third place in some of the constituencies, which means ADMK, being the opposition party, is losing the ground. Even though the opposition leader Edappadi Palaniswamy is campaigning across Tamil Nadu more than Vijay, I would say more than Vijay. He has completed across 150 constituencies already. But the crowd that Vijay is getting, the focus, the media focus that Vijay is getting, it's incomparable to other leaders. So obviously, I mean, the ADMK camp is quite rattled, and they now think only if Vijay is going to come to their camp, which means if only Vijay joins the NDA camp, they will be able to win DMK. Otherwise,
they cannot beat the DMK.
They cannot beat DMK.
Will he consider it at all?
I don't think so. The problem is, right from the day TVK was launched, he was very clear that BJP is his ideological enemy and DMK is his political enemy. And he is again and again repeating that, starting from anti-CAA note to the recent campaigns in Thiruvarur or Nagapattinam or even in Trichy. He again and again repeats, he attacks BJP. So which means he is not ready to join them. He will never join NDA. There were talks before, even before ADMK joined the BJP, there were talks that Vijay and Edappadi Palaniswamy could join, which means TVK, ADMK alliance, all is on the cards. There were negotiations till 80 seats or 60 seats. Vijay was offered even deputy CM, but that didn't materialize, that didn't happen. So I don't think Vijay will go and join NDA. And again, if he's going to join NDA, look at the number of seats he's going to get or the percentage that he's going to get. He would say, I would probably, being alone, I will prove my vote bank rather than joining NDA and making them the CM or something. Yeah.
Can I give 30 seconds to the BJP representative? It's very clear that BJP is nervous about both of these factors, the Vijay factor plus the rebel faction of the AIA-DMK. You seem to be starting off at a pretty weak pitch.
No, that the question doesn't arise for the very simple reason that, number one, there is a huge anti-incumbency. BJP and AIA-DMK together have already got over 42% of votes and 43%, so to say. And it is a question of catching up another few percentage when Nam Tamil Katchi is already getting 8%. So when you define the whole thing, when anti-incumbency has descended, it is a DMK which is going to go down further. And Vijay pitching up, Vijay is going to take away the Christian votes by and large, some amount of the youth vote from NTK, that is Nam Tamil Katchi Seeman. So I would say people predict differently, the so-called analysts, but I don't see anything beyond 8 to 10% for Vijay to begin with. So nothing much is going to happen. Whatever the votes he is going to take away is all the DMK and Nam Tamil.
But 8 to 10, if you're putting the figure at 8 to 10%, that's a big number, and that is a game-changing.
That is the current ruling dispensations votes by and large.
Okay, all right.
The Christian votes are a huge chunk in Tamil Nadu. I don't agree with Sumant when he says that it is 15%. It is close to 18 to 90%, 19%.
We'll leave it at that, but we will discuss this further in detail in days to come because the Tamil Nadu election race is certainly heating up. I do thank our guests for joining us. Time for a very short break. We'll get you on the other side what Surya Kumar Yadav said when he was asked yet again about the India-Pakistan rivalry. Stay tuned.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
पटनायक जी राज्य के लोकप्रिय युवा मुख्यमंत्री पेमा खांडू जी, केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल के मेरे सहयोगी किरण रिजिजू, राज्य सरकार के मंत्रीगण, संसद में मेरे साथी नाबब रेबिया जी, तापिरगांव जी, सभी विधायक साथी, अन्य जनप्रतिनिधिगण, अरुणाचल के मेरे प्यारे भाई और बहनों, बॉम्येरुंग, बॉम्येरुंग, दोनी पोलो, सर्वशक्तिमान दोनी पोलो हम सबको आशीर्वाद दे। साथियों, हेलीपैड से यहां इस मैदान तक आना, रास्ते में इतने सारे लोगों से मिलना, बच्चों के हाथों में तिरंगा, बेटे बेटियों के हाथों में तिरंगा, अरुणाचल का
India stunned Pakistan with a commanding 6-wicket win in Asia Cup Super 4 clash in Dubai. And despite provocations by Pakistani players with gunfire celebration or fighter jet gestures, Indian captain Surya Kumar rubbed salt on Pakistan wounds with his remarks post-match. Listen in.
सर मैं एक्चुअली ये क्वेश्चन के ऊपर एक चीज़ बोलना चाहूँगा. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आप लोगों को ये क्वेश्चन पूछने बंद कर देना चाहिए अभी राइवलरी के ऊपर. बिकॉज राइवलरी स्टैंडर्ड राइवलरी एक ही बात है सर. कोई टीम अच्छा क्रिकेट खेले नहीं खेले, मेरे हिसाब से अगर दो टीमें 15-20 मैच खेल रही हैं और उसमें अगर 7 ऑल है या 8-7 से कोई आगे चल रहा है तो उसको अच्छा क्रिकेट खेलना बोलते हैं और उसको राइवलरी बोलते हैं. 13-0, 10-1, मुझे पता नहीं क्या स्टैट है, बट दिस इज नॉट अ राइवलरी एनी मोर. बट या आई फील वी प्लेड बेटर क्रिकेट देन देम between 7 to 15 and also from bowling point of view.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
की पटनायक जी, राज्य के लोकप्रिय युवा मुख्यमंत्री पेमा खांडू जी, केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल के मेरे सहयोगी किरण रिजिजू, राज्य सरकार के मंत्रीगण, संसद में मेरे साथी नाबब रेबिया जी, तापिरगांव जी, सभी विधायक साथी, अन्य जनप्रतिनिधिगण, अरुणाचल के मेरे प्यारे भाई और बहनों, बॉम्येरुंग, दोनी पोलो, सर्वशक्तिमान दोनी पोलो हम सबको आशीर्वाद दे. साथियों, हेलीपैड से यहां इस मैदान तक आना, रास्ते में इतने सारे लोगों से मिलना, बच्चों के हाथों में तिरंगा, बेटे बेटियों के हाथों में तिरंगा, अरुणाचल का ये आदर सत्कार गौरव से भर देता है. और ये स्वागत इतना जबरदस्त था कि मुझे पहुंचने में भी देरी हो गई, और इसलिए भी मैं आप सबकी क्षमा मांगता हूं. अरुणाचल की ये भूमि उगते सूर्य की धरती के साथ ही देशभक्ति के उफान की भी धरती है, जिसे तिरंगे का पहला रंग केसरिया है, वैसे ही अरुणाचल का पहला रंग केसरिया है. यहां का हर व्यक्ति शौर्य का प्रतीक है, सादगी का प्रतीक है, और इसलिए अरुणाचल तो मैं कई बार आया हूं. राजनीति में सत्ता के गलियारों में नहीं था तब भी आया हूं, और इसलिए यहां की ढेर सारी यादें मेरे साथ जुड़ी हुई हैं, और उसका स्मरण भी मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है. आप सभी के साथ बिताया हर पल मेरे लिए यादगार होता है. आप जितना प्यार मुझे देते हैं, मैं समझता हूं जीवन में इससे बड़ा कोई सौभाग्य नहीं होता है. तवांग मठ से लेकर नमसाई के स्वर्ण पगोड़ा तक अरुणाचल शांति और संस्कृति का संगम है. मां भारती का गौरव है. मैं इस पुण्य भूमि को श्रद्धापूर्वक प्रणाम करता हूं। साथियों, मेरा यहां आज अरुणाचल आना तीन वजहों से बहुत विशेष हो गया है। पहला तो ये कि आज नवरात्रि के पहले दिन मुझे ऐसे सुंदर पर्वतों के दर्शन करने का सौभाग्य मिला। नवरात्र में आज के दिन हम मां शैलपुत्री की पूजा करते हैं और शैलपुत्री वो प्रयागराज पर्वतराज हिमालय की ही बेटी है। दूसरी वजह ये कि आज से देश में नेक्स्ट जनरेशन जीएसटी रिफॉर्म्स लागू हुए हैं। जीएसटी बचत उत्सव की शुरुआत हुई है। त्योहारों के इस मौसम में जनता जनार्दन को ये डबल बोनांजा मिला है। और तीसरी वजह है आज के इस पावन दिन अरुणाचल में विकास के ये ढेर सारे नए प्रोजेक्ट्स। आज अरुणाचल प्रदेश को पावर, कनेक्टिविटी, टूरिज्म और हेल्थ सहित अनेक सेक्टर से जुड़े प्रोजेक्ट मिले हैं। ये बीजेपी की डबल इंजन सरकार के डबल बेनिफिट का बेहतरीन उदाहरण है। मैं अरुणाचल वासियों को इन प्रोजेक्ट्स की बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। यहां मंच पर आने से पहले मुझे यहां छोटे मोटे सब व्यापारियों से बातचीत करने का अवसर मिला। उनकी दुकानों में उनके प्रोडक्ट्स देखने का अवसर मिला और उससे भी ज्यादा मैंने उनके उत्साह को अनुभव किया, उनके उमंग को अनुभव किया। और ये बचत उत्सव मैं देख रहा था कि वहां व्यापारियों में, भिन्न भिन्न भांति की चीजों का निर्माण करने वालों में और आज जनता जनार्दन के इतने विशाल रूप में मुझे साफ साफ नजर आ रहा है। साथियों, हमारे अरुणाचल प्रदेश में
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Viewers, the 22nd of September 2025 is a white swan moment. It's a day that we will remember as we look back sometime in the near future as a day when Bharat came to a level of indirect taxes it never could have fathomed before. Just two slabs of 5% and 18% and most of the staples off the entire indirect taxes list altogether. From a time where including state levies, taxes, octroi, etc., where we would as